The Black Knight satellite is one of those really curious mysteries.
ISS filmed the Black Knight satellite above Earth. The International Space Station has just done what conspiracy theorists have whispered about for decades. It filmed the legendary Black Knight satellite drifting above Earth, and the footage is sending shockwaves through the space community.
Astronauts took a picture of some unidentified object in space. Once people saw that picture, they were convinced that it was an alien spacecraft.
Was it a trick of the light, or did NASA cameras really capture an object that has been called proof of ancient alien visitors?
Black Knight satellite is this object orbiting the Earth. NASA labeled it space junk.
Some insiders claim the live feed mysteriously cut off seconds later, raising even more questions. Could this be the clearest evidence yet? Join us as we uncover whether this sighting is fact or just another cosmic hoax. Photo of Black Knight satellite revealed. One of the most stunning space revelations of the decade has emerged lately, with a shocking photo that claims to have captured the elusive Black Knight satellite. This is a mysterious object, long rumored to be an ancient extraterrestrial probe that has silently orbited Earth for over 13,000 years. The image was snapped by a vigilant space enthusiast monitoring the live feed from the International Space Station. Just moments after the strange black object appeared on screen, NASA's cameras abruptly went dark. The timing couldn't be more suspicious. The silhouette was jagged and unmistakable, standing out against the black expanse of space. Within hours, the image was uploaded online, sparking a frenzy of speculation and disbelief. Many believe the image confirms what conspiracy theorists and independent researchers have claimed for decades, that the Black Knight satellite is real and has been quietly watching us since the dawn of civilization. But the mystery didn't end there. A separate video has emerged, showing the 13,000-year-old Black Knight UFO hovering near the Russian Soyuz spacecraft as it prepared to dock with the ISS. The long black structure floats ominously in the background. Astronaut voices were also faintly heard anxious. The recent photo and video of the Black Knight satellite brings up different questions. Is the satellite observing the world? Was it trying to send a message? For many, this photo is undeniable proof that the Black Knight exists and someone is trying to cover it up. But some also say that this is just a hoax. But this is not the first time that scientists spotted the Black Knight satellite. Back in 1998, they also captured images of the satellite. 1998 NASA's STS-88 mission. In December 1998, NASA's STS-88 mission, which was the first space shuttle flight to assemble the International Space Station, snapped different photographs which depicted a dark, oddly shaped object against Earth's blue expanse. Experts and theorists have said that this is the legendary Black Knight satellite, which is of alien origin and has been orbiting Earth for millennia. The object's entangled, angular shape, its contrasting silhouette against Earth, and the way it tumbled in sunlight made it visually striking. To many, it looked like a mysterious object floating in space. This was especially in microgravity and dramatic lighting against Earth's atmosphere. Space communities quickly gathered, amplifying the photographs and discussing what it was. But what made it more mysterious is the fact that there wasn't any propulsion system, solar array, or the other structural features typical of satellites. This is why theorists came up with the idea that this was an ancient alien satellite instead. It quickly became the central explanation of theories, especially in its shape and motion in the orbit. What's more, NASA and ISS didn't give a proper explanation, and so many believed that they also didn't understand what it was. When they finally emerged with an explanation, it only seemed like they were covering up the truth. Experts have called this proof of a 13,000-year-old satellite, which is the Black Knight satellite. They believe that this satellite has its origins in space and is located in the near polar orbit of the Earth. What's more, Theorists say that NASA is covering up its existence and origin. This photo taken during the STS-88 mission was believed to be one of the strongest pieces of evidence of Black Knight satellite. According to some UBO theorists, the Black Knight is an artificial satellite of extraterrestrial origin that has orbited Earth for approximately 13,000 years. But this isn't the only evidence that theorists list out when pointing towards the Black Knight. This theory dates back to over 100 years ago, with the mysterious 1899 radio signals. Tesla's mysterious 1899 radio signals. In 1899, Nikola Tesla was conducting wireless power experiments at his Colorado Springs laboratory when he reported picking up strange radio signals which he thought were possibly extraterrestrial. In a letter and later a 1901 Collier's Weekly article, Tesla wrote that he received intelligently controlled signals that seemed to count off 1, 2, 3, 4. This made him believe that the signals were using numbers as a universal language to communicate. He speculated that these signals could be from Mars or Venus. He described the signals as rhythmic and repeating, following a pattern that was different from any other natural phenomena he had previously observed. His observations led to even more mystery about where these signals could be coming from. If this is the Black Knight satellite, then it's even scarier, because it means something out there has been monitoring Earth and communicating with a mothership, using unusual signals and number-based communications. Theorists have pointed this out as the earliest chapter in the Black Knight saga. This makes Tesla the first human to intercept a message from a satellite or alien probe orbiting Earth, long before modern spaceflight. By 1968, other experts said that they were pulsars instead, and not proof of the Black Knight. Although Tesla didn't call it a satellite or connect it to an orbiting spacecraft, believers have retroactively connected his claim to the Black Knight satellite. Some scientists are against this idea because they believe that the signals are Earth interference or pulsars, especially since Tesla or his peers never called it the evidence of a spacecraft. Yet, it's still the foundation for the Black Knight satellite. Tesla's experiments were focused on terrestrial stationary waves, using the Earth as a conductor. This also led him to believe that it was possible to have wireless communication across vast distances, even across planets in space. At that time, Mars was a popular subject, with many believing that it was harboring intelligent life. So, Tesla mostly believed that the signals were coming from Mars. He also repeatedly talked about the signals in interviews, with another theory saying that it was a greeting from one planet to another. Some theories say that Nikola Tesla conducted communication experiments to contact advanced intelligence in space, causing the government to become more interested in UFOs. The Tesla 1899 signals are preserved as the first rumored contact from the Black Knight satellite. They form a powerful narrative thread, leading to the next piece of evidence, the LDEs discovered in the 1920s. LDEs in the 1920s and 30s. In the summer of 1927, Norwegian civil engineer and radio enthusiast Jørgen Hals, near Oslo, began hearing something mysterious. Aside from the normal shortwave echo about 1/7 second, due to signals circumnavigating Earth, he also heard a second, much weaker echo that arrived roughly 3 seconds after transmission. The strength was around 1/10 or 1/20th the original signal, and was identified as a long-delayed echo. Hals was unsure of what he had just heard, and so he wrote to Carl Stormer, describing the phenomenon and saying, "I can only confirm that I really heard it." Stormer and engineer Balthasar van der Poel later joined in controlled experiments, confirming that the echoes ranged from 3 to 15 seconds. Sometimes it was up to 30 seconds, under optimal conditions. The echo delays were inconsistent, but real and puzzling. Through the 1930s and onward, researchers recorded further LDE events. One in 1934 noted delays of up to 25 to 30 seconds, observed by various amateur operations and professionals during that period. There were other cases of LDEs, up to 15, by the late 20th century. After scientists investigated these echoes, they came up with different ways to explain the LDEs. One of these was low-frequency radio waves, which become trapped in ionized magnetic field-aligned ducts, traveling to the opposite hemisphere, reflecting, and then returning. This was producing delays of up to 0.4 seconds or more. Another theory was mode conversion, as some scientists believed that signal energy was converting into plasma waves and back, traveling much slower and light. This yielded echoes delayed by several to tens of seconds. Some scientists also say that these signals were caused by multiple reflections. According to them, the signals traverse around Earth or bouncing off plasma clouds or other structures, leading to long and variable delay times up to 30 seconds or more. But for some other theories, the LDEs were new evidence towards the Black Knight satellite. The unexplained delay, strength, and non-random occurrence became evidence of an alien probe which was reflecting human transmissions back to us. These theorists argued that the LDEs originated from an orbiting extraterrestrial device, which responded to Earth's broadcasts. This evidence was laid out by Ronald Bracewell and Duncan Lunan. But not all scientists are in support of the Black Knight satellite theory, and so they don't agree that the LDEs are proof. Instead, they say that these echoes are plasma ducting or mode conversion. Still, these radio anomalies remain a fascinating and contested piece of evidence towards the Black Knight satellite. The evidence for this strange phenomenon became stronger when some unidentified satellites emerged in the 1950s. Unidentified satellites in 1950s. In 1954, a retired Marine Corps major turned UFO researcher Donald Kehoe revealed something shocking in newspapers. This shocking news will make up the next piece of evidence in the research into Black Knight satellites. The U.S. Air Force detected one or possibly two artificial satellites orbiting Earth. This claim was astounding and mysterious, especially since no country at that time had launched a satellite. Even Sputnik wouldn't fly until 1957. Kehoe's statement was said when he was promoting his UFO book. So, many people thought that he was using it as publicity and trying to get attention for his book. This was especially because there wasn't any confirmation or documentation from the Air Force or Department of Defense at that time. The mid-1950s were a time of sci-fi excitement and space race anxiety. As a respected veteran and aviation journalist, it was hard not to believe what Kehoe had said. It seemed like there were actually two satellites orbiting the Earth, but the main question was where it came from. That's where the Black Knight satellite theory comes in. There's the possibility that this strange satellite that Kehoe was talking about was the Black Knight satellite which had been there for over 13,000 years. The only problem was that Kehoe didn't have any evidence or data, like orbital elements, tracking logs, or sensor readings. Theorists have adopted Kehoe's 1954 claim as early proof of the Black Knight satellite, the ancient, unacknowledged, orbiting probe. Since real satellites didn't exist by 1954, the only explanation was that there was something more exotic and mysterious out there. Something completely different from human technology, which brought up the question, are we alone? The event became another major proof, especially after the 1899 signals and then the LDEs in the 1920s. Now, the ISS has filmed the Black Knight satellite above Earth as the latest proof in the long line of proof over the last 100 years. Scientists and historians have repeated that there weren't any official records to prove Kehoe's statement. In fact, the scientist that's famous for discovering Pluto, Clyde Tombaugh, has denied any reports of natural scientists found in 1954. Furthermore, Kehoe's broader work is understood to blend journalism, advocacy, and sensationalism. He led NICAP and called for public disclosure of alleged UFO knowledge, suggesting his claims often aligned more with shaping public interest than offering near-term proof. But the question remains, are Kehoe's claims true, and is the government trying to cover it up? If yes, then that means the Black Knight satellite is out there somewhere. Still, some say that this is actually space debris, and not an extraterrestrial satellite as is believed. Other Black Knight sightings and space debris theory. In February 1960, another shocking evidence emerged, pointing towards the Black Knight satellite. It was reported that the U.S. Navy radar systems had detected a mysterious dark object in polar orbit, and they first thought that it was a Soviet spy satellite. At the time, the U.S. Air Force and all related agencies didn't publicly acknowledge any such payload. So, many believed that this was early proof of a mysterious, unacknowledged satellite. This satellite could definitely not be of human origin, because all the space programs at that time were covert. The only explanation was that it could be the Black Knight satellite instead. When the theories of the Black Knight satellite started circulating, the cover-up began, and it was said that the object was space debris instead. According to opposing experts, it was debris from the American Discoverer 8 satellite, part of the Corona reconnaissance program. Apparently, its film return capsule had been lost on its mission in late November 1959, and it was that portion that remained in orbit before it decayed. This is not the first time that space debris has been used to explain what some theorists had believed to be the Black Knight satellite. It seems like this is the only way to explain why there is a strange, contrasting object in space that has been orbiting the Earth. What's more, it seems like the Black Knight sighting had been directly witnessed by one of the top professionals in spacefaring. A persistent myth claims that astronaut Gordon Cooper observed a UFO during his 15th orbit on the Mercury Atlas 9 mission in May 1963, and that ground tracking stations corroborated it. This seems to be part of the Black Knight satellite evidence, as it seems like this astronaut found himself face-to-face with it. Of course, Cooper completely denied it. It wasn't in any of his mission transcripts or personal logs, and he denied seeing a UFO during his flight. But theorists continue to question whether he is saying the truth or not. Many times, the idea of space debris led to more rumors about the Black Knight satellite. During that time, the Cold War was at its height, and the period was rife with secrecy, espionage, and paranoia. Radar detections of unknown objects like actual malfunctioning satellites or re-entry debris were alarming, and it wasn't hard to suspect that it was extraterrestrial. But as early as Discover 2 and other missions, global sensor networks occasionally logged objects that were later lost or misidentified, leading to speculation before declassification revealed they were human-made. This isn't the only contradiction to the Black Knight satellite. Many experts believe that this is only a hoax. Contradictions from experts. Not all experts believe that the Black Knight satellite theory is real. Some experts say that this theory just connects some unrelated events across decades together and puts it into a single fictional narrative. None of these original reports even use the term Black Knight. They believe that this is only pieced together by conspiracy-minded storytellers. The legend suggests a satellite orbiting Earth for 13,000 years. Yet orbital decay caused by atmospheric drag, gravitational perturbations, and collisions would have destabilized any object long ago without constant propulsion or station-keeping systems, capabilities far beyond even the most advanced current technologies. Experts like space archaeologist Alice Gorman emphasize that long-term stable orbits simply aren't realistic without active adjustment. What's more, modern space surveillance systems track virtually all objects above a few centimeters in diameter in Earth orbit. Yet no correspondent object matching the Black Knight's alleged size, orbit, or behavior has ever been confirmed in radar, telescope, or optical data. No unexplained radar signatures nor consistent tracking records support the idea of a hidden, large polar orbit satellite. Instead, what are likely sightings correspond to cataloged space debris or known satellites. There have also been claims of mysterious radio signals, from Tesla's 1899 reception to LDEs in the 1920s. But some experts say that these are better explained by natural phenomena like pulsars, ionospheric echoes, or human interference. No encrypted or intelligent messages have been detected from space. Similarly, anomalous orbital photos have been debunked as misidentified debris or imaging artifacts that look strange in zero-gravity lighting conditions, not alien machines. But why do some theorists and experts still say that this evidence points towards the Black Knight satellite? Psychologists and skeptics point out how human brains seek patterns and stories, especially around space mysteries. When presented with ambiguous or incomplete data, people tend to fill gaps with narrative, especially alien intrigue. Add to that mistrust of institutions, selective memory, and social media echo chambers, and the Black Knight legend thrives not because of evidence, but because it's narratively compelling. But now there's new evidence, as the ISS filmed the Black Knight satellite above Earth. NASA's official explanation. With the latest evidence, NASA has something else to say. They don't believe that this is caused by the Black Knight satellite. Instead, they have another possible explanation, and that's a thermal blanket. In December 1998, during STS-88, the first space shuttle mission to begin International Space Station assembly, astronauts aboard Endeavour conducted a spacewalk while installing thermal insulation on the newly attached Unity module. Midway through the EVA, a thermal cover unexpectedly detached and floated away. Mission Commander Bob Cabana famously radioed, "Jerry, one of the thermal covers got away from you," to astronaut Jerry Ross, confirming the loss of the blanket. NASA officially categorized the drifting object as space debris, assigning it catalog number STS-088-724-66. James Oberg, a former NASA trajectory engineer who worked with the STS-88 team, investigated the incident. He confirmed that the object captured in the now famous image was almost certainly that same lost thermal blanket, not an alien spacecraft. Oberg's analysis aligns with the astronaut communications and mission logs. The object later decayed and burned up in Earth's atmosphere within days. NASA emphasized that debris in low Earth orbit, especially lit insulating materials, can look oddly structured or even artificial when viewed under specific lighting conditions against the planet's backdrop. Now that we've covered all the evidence and theories for and against the Black Knight satellite, the question remains, is it true or false? Let's know your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.